welcome to another episode on Moments with PJ. Today we shall be talking about the steps we can put in place in overcoming the fear of failure. As we all know, overcoming the fear of failure is a crucial step in achieving results in our professional and even in our personal growth. Today we would have PJ in the studio who is going to assist us in enlightening us better on how best we can overcome the fear of failure. PJ, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Chinasa.
Yes, sir. As I don't know how to put it, but I believe even as a new entrepreneur, you there is a part of us that would always have this fear of what if I
That
start and I
element,
don't make
make
it?
it.
What if I start and I lose out on all my savings I'm taking in as capital? And currently, I just want you to help us to explain better how we can just push aside this fear, the word fear of failing. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chinasa. That fear is valid for a starter. It's valid. Valid because every human being would experience such if you're starting something for the first
New,
time.
yes.
But it is very important to know that we even need that failure for a start.
Okay.
There's a book, Failure is Not Final. As success is important, so is failure. Because when we fail, there are things we can know, we would have known if we were successful.
Yes.
For example, when one fails, he or she will know how best to do it. He or she will know the attitude needed to sustaining what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody wants to fail, but you can learn lessons that can help you in the future from
Yes.
failing. And so before starting up a venture, it's important to contact references. But there's nothing you want to become that somebody else.
Has not become.
So it is important that you meet people that have gone ahead of you in that line of business. They can share from their wealth of experience.
Mm-hmm.
They will even tell you how they failed, why they failed, and where they failed. So if you want to overcome the failure at all, you don't want to have any of those experiences, meet someone who has passed through that thing you are about starting.
Mm-hmm.
If they are gracious enough, they will tell you hiccups, pitfalls that can make you fall or
Okay.
fail. So that is going to come very handy for you. And so you'll be more armed even than them. But the difference will be that they have
The
experience
experience. Yes.
and story to tell, which you may not get.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to overcome it, go look out for persons who are in the same industry or line of business as you, that they are ahead of you. Go
Okay.
hear from them. Now, you may not be privileged to know anybody, but there are books you can also read
Mm-hmm.
in line of your business that can
Okay.
also arm and prepare you for that.
Further.
But the fear of failure shouldn't be there. In fact, it is even better you fail at the start so that when you get to the top, you don't make those costly mistakes.
Mistakes.
I think it was Norman Vincent that said, the things I do at the top, I learned at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it is better we fail at the start of the business than
Business
going to fail at
at
the
the top
pinnacle
of our
of our
career.
businesses. So it's important, yes.
Okay, sir. Are you basically saying that failure is avoidable? Are you saying that if I am to start a business
Yeah.
for my lifetime, there is something I can put in place not to even fail at all?
Now it depends on what you call failure.
Okay.
All right. For example, if you have a set goal, let's assume you break your goals into short-term goal, medium-term, and long-term goal. For your short-term goal, you have 6 months or thereabout. So
Mm-hmm.
if in 6 months you're not able to meet up all your short-term goals, you have failed. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay. What if we say when it comes to let's say achieving results, like for instance I'm starting a business,
yes,
I have started,
yeah.
it took me time to start and all of those things, and at the end of the day I finished within the time frame, but of course there are unforeseen circumstances that would occur. That, let's take for instance, COVID.
Okay.
There are many people that started business during COVID
Yes.
that it crumbled and they've used their life savings
Okay.
to start it up. Most people could not even stand up again.
Yes.
So if we take that as a case scenario and something like that happens, are you saying if something like that happens or something? Because basically, I just want to ask: is it avoidable totally?
Failure is not avoidable.
Okay.
It's not avoidable. Again, we need to define what is it we call failure. In the case of COVID, it was a global pandemic
Yes.
which was outside the reach and control of anybody. And so you won't blame yourself for that. But
But it is
as
called. I failed
yes,
in that
I'm not in
aspect.
it. Yes, you won't blame yourself totally for that.
Okay.
But as a strategist, you should always plan for unforeseen circumstances. For example, how would you use all of your capital into a business in 2020? You started for the first time. It doesn't speak of your maturity.
What? Okay. Sir. When you have a plan or you have a goal, you're planning towards that goal.
Yeah.
I want to start up a business. I need 1 million naira.
Yes.
And where I work, I am not paid 1 million naira in a month.
Okay.
So I am saving towards 1 million.
Yes.
And I get up to 1 million. I wouldn't save to 1 million and I say, oh, let me wait a little and surpass 1 million before I start up the business because I
Okay.
am eager to go into business.
Okay.
And I take up my money I have saved for months
Yes.
and I'm putting it into my business as my capital. And something like COVID
Sir,
happens.
there's what they call risk assessment. Have you heard that
Okay.
before? Risk assessment is part of business. In fact,
Okay.
every discipline has that. Before you go into a business, you look at the possible risk. You envisage what are the possible outcome. Any good planner would envisage such. You may not call it COVID. It could be anything. Because when you're going to a business,
Yes.
for example, I am doing business and you're into a business, I want to form an alliance. I can trust you enough to do business with you. But because you are dealing with a third party, I cannot trust your third party. So if I'm to analyze my business with you, between you and I, it is strong.
Mhm.
Between you and the third person is weak. I should have some reservation because of that weak link. Now, so there is a need for risk assessment.
That is
So
if you're privy to the third party.
no, I just use as an example. Any business at all.
Okay.
Let's assume there's no third party. I want to go into a business. I have 1 million naira and I want to go into buying and selling. I can't just go into buying and selling. What are the possible outcomes? What if the day I go to the bank to take my monies, I was robbed? That is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
What if I paid 1 million to a one-man person, one-man business, and the person sleep and never woke up? Is a possibility. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So that will now make me to say, okay, I'm doing a business of 1 million. I'm going to be putting 800,000. In another 3, 4 days, I'll put another 300,000. By that, I've kept 300,000 for myself and I risk my 700. It is called risk analysis.
Okay.
It is very important we live with that in view. Most business people don't even do SWOT analysis. They don't even analyze anything.
Mm-hmm.
They just have the money, they heard the story, they learn the business once or twice, and they want to dive in. And so they hit the rock. But if failure is avoidable, yes, but it's important we fail. Because if you're going to arm us with the necessary experience and knowledge to even grow the business further.
Okay, sir. I'm just trying to get more clarity. You
About the
know,
risk assessment.
about failing in
Okay.
business because we cannot
What
determine
do you call?
when
Okay, go ahead.
we cannot determine. Oh, this is the period of time that this failure can occur.
Okay.
Failure can take 50 years, 20. Let's not even. Let's not be
So
exaggerative.
you are looking at you're looking at failure as the loss of your capital, right?
Not even capital, loss of loss of the business. Not even, it can be with my profits. I, of course, I'm not just starting business today and I'm failing tomorrow. I
Okay.
have made profits. I have added it up. The capital has increased. So I'm just using capital as a leverage.
Chinasa, the solution to what you're just saying
Okay.
is risk assessment.
That's what I'm saying. We are assessing. we have a business we want to go into. We've
Yes.
assessed it that
Okay.
okay, let me like you made an example. You're using 800,000.
Yes.
You kept 200,000
Yes.
and say, okay, in the next 2 months, I would put it. Let me see the output first. What if after 2 months it was yielding good profit and it's oh, I have tested this thing, it is going very well. Let me add up the 200,000. And I ended up adding it up. And after 6 months, something happened and
Chenasa,
wipes it off.
before you go into a business,
Yes.
it's what they call visibility study.
Okay.
Okay, even before your risk assessment
Mm-hmm.
or after risk just consider what are the possible challenges it
Okay.
cost may have. Visibility study carries everything about what you're talking about.
Okay.
What are the chances of this business failing? Unfortunately, this part of the world, we don't employ business experts. I can give us expert advice. All right. If you are looking at failure in that context, it is 100% possible. Most major organizations employ business analysts who sit down and analyze this business from their wealth of experience. They can project and tell you this thing is going to survive the next 20 years. 20 years into this business, think of diversifying
Okay.
because they've analyzed. Okay, but because it's like a one-man thing, you may not be privileged to have all this information. But you can Google these things online. You can read books on it. Do you understand? So if you're looking at failure in that context, it is avoidable. 100% avoidable, yes.
Okay. So now, it is avoidable. Yes. Now, please, sir, help us. How best can we navigate through this fear of failing? Because basically, we have people that even have the capital,
Yes.
but they are also thinking, I don't want to just let this money go to it. And again, money that is just sitting in the bank is useless
Very, very useless.
until you put it into use and
Use.
is yielding profit. That is when it becomes something.
You're
So
absolutely correct.
if I as a person, I have money somewhere, I want to go into business and I am having this fear of oh, I don't okay, I want to even start selling shoes, but I don't know, I want to start ordering from China, and at the end of the day I don't know if they will dupe me because I already have a friend that has an experience of being duped.
Yeah.
So how do I as a person
Okay.
navigate
I
through
started
it?
by saying the fear is valid.
Yes.
That's the first thing. Number two, the fear is only valid because you lack information. That fear you are having is actually an indicator that you are not having enough information or knowledge about what you're about going into.
Okay.
The moment you have the required knowledge and insight about that business, that fear will disappear. So that fear is an indicator to put hold on that business, go and get proper information about that business. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
The fear is valid, but the fear is a pointer. It's telling you something that there is something you don't know yet.
Yes.
Don't ignore it. As against shutting down the idea of going to business, let the fear of that failure push you to go and get the knowledge
Knowledge
needed.
about the
Because
business.
that fear is a pointer that something is not clear.
Okay.
The moment it is clear, knowledge they say is power. Nothing cancels fear but knowledge, information. The moment you get the right information about that business, you will not get all. Very good amount of information about that business, 70% of that business, that fear will be beaten down to zero. You'll be amazed. You see that confidence, that boldness.
You even be like, okay, let me just start. If
Let me
I
start.
fail, I
If I fail,
fail.
I fail. So the fear
Mm.
is an indicator that there is lack of knowledge somewhere.
So
Yes.
basically, the first thing we should put in place is getting knowledge.
Oh, yes, you don't go into what you don't know.
Get not even just knowledge. Get a quantifiable knowledge.
Amount about
Yes.
the workings of that
Yes.
business.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so we beat our fear of failing to a barest minimum.
Yes.
Okay, sir. When we now talk about failure as a person, and okay, you've gone into business, you're doing very well, and you're thinking of expanding your business. You're looking out for people you can merge with, and you say okay, probably like you mentioned earlier, you want to diversify into something else
Yes. Okay.
outside from what you're
Your
currently
core
doing.
strength.
Yes. So if I want to diversify, like for instance, I am selling shoes now and I want to add it up with probably jewelries because it's accessory, and I'm looking out for, okay, what do I do? How do I start? Do I also need to start again looking for people that are into that business
Knowledge for that
for that
business.
business
Get the same amount of
of
knowledge you had
knowledge?
to start the shoe business.
Oh, okay, okay. So now everything as a business person, you must get knowledge.
It's a must.
You must get knowledge to knowledge, not just the knowledge that, oh, I don't want to fail, but
There's
knowledge.
an amount of knowledge you need to sail through because
Mm,
every business has storms. It's not the
yes.
day you start the business, you start making money.
Mm,
Some businesses you don't even start making money until your name is known.
mm.
And so within those periods, before they start seeing your face in the line of business, you've got to be patient.
Yes, that reminds me, sir. I want to talk about this social media marketing,
Yes.
because of late we see, oh, they'll say, oh, Instagram disabled my account. They've gained up to millions of followers. They are
Yeah.
doing very well. I was sharing with somebody, and I got to see the video. The person was like, oh, this person used to pack up 500 orders in a day, and the person went to zero. Now
His or her account was disabled.
disabled. And I start to wonder,
Policy problem, certainly.
probably, and I start to imagine, is it that all through while you were building this family or this market on the social media, you did not take time to build physical market? And I also saw another woman on same Instagram. She has created an avenue. What she does now is she does physical, what do they call it, physical, like I'm trying to find the right word, when you're like you're campaigning or you're marketing, you want to
So she
run a,
promotes.
yes, you just say, okay, I'm running this promo on this particular product, come physically to my store,
Okay.
so I'm trying to wonder why that first person did not think outside the box, because I am feeling that this second person is using the errors of this first person to, okay, say, aside social media marketing, let me
I can be
make
physical.
visibility physically. Let them know me. I have their contact. Because definitely, if they are coming into my shop, I should have their contact. I should be able
There's a
to.
meeting point.
Yes. So, what do you advise people that have streamlined or they feel, oh, social media is just their market strength? I know I have said it that, okay, you can also do physical tours, come to my stores physically and shop. But what, aside social media, aside physical, you coming to my shop, what other strategy as a business person should I put in place?
Okay, yeah. China, it is one thing to start a business. It's a different thing to grow the business,
Yes.
but it's a different level to sustain the business. In fact, it is even easier to start a business than sustaining a business. Most of them are that high, they become complacent.
Mm-hmm.
The discipline and the attitude with which they started to get to that top, when they get there, they forget about those principles.
Mm.
Else, why would somebody that is doing very well on Instagram suddenly get blocked? Obviously, they violated one of the policies. They know
Mm.
those policies, but again, complacency. Complacency.
Someone cannot be too careful when you're on air. You're saying one or two things, because I know there are some brands.
You know, sir,
I have
there is
seen.
no justification to this. You see, we
Okay.
should not make excuse for failure. There is no justification for someone that has 3,000 subscribers making money on a weekly basis not to be careful.
Okay, I want to just give you a case scenario.
Yeah.
People that sell shoes,
Yes.
that sell designers, some of them, they are not. Some of them are. Most of them are copies,
Okay.
and probably they are posting, and they tend to show the brand name.
Yeah.
You're not affiliated with that brand,
Okay.
but it is showing.
Yeah.
And I want to believe Instagram, it is against their policy.
In marketing, generally, it's called branding.
You
You don't
understand?
brand a product you are not empowered to do.
So,
Is a
so
fault.
if a case scenario like that happens, what
Now,
do you
why
know?
should somebody at that height not know? That's what I'm saying. If you are a beginner, it's a different ballgame. According to your story, this person has got followers, has got mega businesses.
Yes.
Again, it could be that they've grown so big, they now have employees
That
working for
manages those
them,
things.
working
Yes, I
for them,
wanted to say
who
that
didn't pay attention.
to
Don't be
detail
surprised. The fault may not be directly from them,
from
but they've
them.
grown so big that they now have people who didn't follow through their doggedness to principles and to
Mm,
policies, and they
yes.
get punished. Listen, there's no justification for wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you sleep, you get hammered. So when you get to that point, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Yes.
Thank you so much, PJ. I wish we still have
Time.
liberty of time to deliberate more on this because many businesses they are failing.
I'm sure
And
the, the director can
as
bring
you
us
say
the.
as you said earlier, they did not acquire a lot of knowledge
Yes,
before
yes.
they commenced that
Comments.
business. Thank you so much, sir, for this word of your knowledgeable explanation, sir. As we all know, our viewers out there, before you start up a business, you need to gain more knowledge, make researches on that business you're about to start because it's going to be disheartening when you lose a whole lot of what you took days, months,
To build
years
it.
to acquire, to build, and you're losing them within a twinkle of an eye. So as our guest has advised us today, you gather knowledge. Again, seek for coaches that are in that same line of business you're
Yes,
into. Seek for them.
important.
They guide you through. A good coach would not want you to fail. A good coach wouldn't want you to make the same mistakes he or she has made. And as our guests have said, we should always look out for starting a business and also defining our business. You need to be 100% knowledgeable about that business. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode, and we always look forward to having you on the show. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moments with PJ. And lest I forget, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to share, if you have any topic you want us to deliberate on, do not hesitate to put it on the screen. Thank you so much. Until we see some other time, have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Shalom, greeting in Jesus' precious name.
Amen.